Coming up on March 21st, we have the Komen, Oregon and Southwest Washington Breast Cancer Issues Conference. It's all day at the Doubletree Hotel on Northeast Multnomah. And here to give us an idea of the topics to be covered and what it's all about are breast cancer survivor Michelle Judson. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how are you, John?
And Margaret Klein from Komen. Hello, Margaret.
Hello, John. Good morning.
Let's start with you, Michelle. You're the chair of the conference. What excites you about it the most?
Well, I think what excites me is not only is it about bringing awareness, but it's also bringing the cutting edge treatments and the most recent studies that have come out of Houston as well as internationally. It gives women an opportunity to connect, which is part of our sisterhood, which as the moment you hear those words that you have cancer, it's a moment where you feel like the floor has dropped out from underneath you and you feel alone until you get the first phone call, whether it's from a nurse navigator or another survivor or someone within Komen to help start to mentor you and direct you. And so that's what this conference is all about.
And you find out that you're not alone. There are experts or other people who are going through what you're going through, and a number of topics are covered at the conference. Margaret, what are some of the topics?
So we have a whole variety of topics that are covered this year that include everything from new views in breast cancer treatment, breast cancer screening, how we're looking at palliative care, which is really symptom management while one is going through breast cancer treatment, the influence of complementary medicine, discussion of hormone receptor, positive breast cancer and the latest trends in that area, as well as really both our keynote, which is so exciting, but then our end session on really continuing to find hope.
Right. So both sides of the cancer equation are there. We have the medical side being covered in a series of topics and sessions, and also the social side, what it's like to deal with this and different aspects of dealing with cancer.
Correct. I mean, there's the medical, which you get a wide range of attendees from attendees that are doing continuing education credits and work within the medical field, as well as survivors that really maybe their passion is what's the cutting edge technology and treatments, as well as who needs the emotional support, which the conference has that in its workshops, as well as just the networking and the coming together, as well as that social piece, which is used for both the medical community and survivor community.
Now, Margaret, how does this fit into Komen's overall purpose?
Great question, John. You know, Komen, Oregon, and Southwest Washington really is part of a larger movement that's addressed the issues around breast cancer, from screening to outreach to support. In the last 24 years, we've provided $18.7 million in those areas. And survivor support, which really is part of what this program does, is a real critical issue for us. We provide daily one-to-one consultation, but then we also have the breast cancer conference where we can continue to provide education and information.
And the topic of breast cancer is especially meaningful here on the West Coast.
Correct, it is. So Oregon and Washington are some of the states with the highest incidence of breast cancer. And to put that in perspective, every day in this community, 10 women will hear the words, "You have breast cancer." And every week, an additional 10 women will die from breast cancer. So this is a critical area that really needs to continue to be addressed in our community.
And I think, Margaret, that's such an important point to touch on. Being a young breast cancer survivor. I'm a native Oregonian, lived here my whole life, second generation, had no idea that breast cancer was so predominant on the West Coast. My cancer is actually genetic, so it's a BRCA1 gene that I got from my dad because it's a dominant gene, so you either get it or you don't, and it was passed through my dad. But until I got that diagnosis, I had no idea the high incident rate of breast cancer on the West Coast, as well as just that young women got breast cancer. I was pretty naive in all of those ways. And so this is such a great opportunity to reach out within our community. And whether people attend the conference, which we really want them to, there's still lots of openings, and we'd love for people to attend and learn more about this. But also just if our message going out on the radio waves lets young women in particular know that, wow, I should be doing those breast checks in the shower, or wow, maybe there is some family history going on in my family tree, then we've done our job.
And I think I only would add that while it's such a high incidence, we've also been very successful in helping to move the needle, if you will. The breast cancer 5-year survival rate through the efforts of Komen, Oregon, and others has increased from 74% to 99%. And the decrease in deaths has gone down by 33%. So I think those are really important to know that there is hope. You hear those words, you feel devastated, but I think having the support system that Komen, Oregon, and Southwest Washington provides to men and women is really an important service to the community.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And that's one of the other things that this conference provides, and something that Komen has done such a wonderful job of doing over the years, and so many other organizations that will be vendors at our conference as well, is not just supporting survivors, but really nurturing that connection to survivorship. Because I think when you're first diagnosed, you think, oh my gosh, this, how is this going to end? And it's really important. And it's important for me as a survivor, but it's important for, I think, so many survivors to be able to connect with those longtime survivors that are 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years out, that their treatment was so much different than it is now. And there have been such amazing advancements. And, Komen continues to drive that forward.
Okay, and the website to find out more, if somebody wanted to sign up or if somebody wanted to just learn what all is being covered, how do you do that?
You can do that in a variety of ways. You can contact Komen directly and through either our phone number or the website, which is KomenOregon.org.
Let's go now to Karis Stoudemeyer-Phillips with Moda Health. Karis, hi there. What is Moda's role?
Good morning. Moda Health is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Breast Cancer Issues Conference, and we are the presenting sponsor for the second year.
Tell me how that fits into what Moda Health does in the community. You're active in the community. I know that you're one of the leaders in that. How does that fit in?
Well, it fits in for us because we know that breast cancer is very prevalent in the Northwest, and we are a Northwest-based company. We have offices in Oregon, Washington, Alaska, and moving into Northern California, and breast cancer is very prevalent in this area, and it's a very important issue to us and to our members and to our employees. And we always look for partnerships in the community with nonprofits that are important to our members and to our employees, as I said before, because we want them to be behind what we're doing. And so that's one of the main reasons that we have chosen to partner with Komen.
Partnering with Komen, Karis Stoudemeyer-Phillips with Moda Health. Thank you, Karis.
Thank you.
And thank you, Margaret Klein and Michelle Judson from Komen.
Great. Thanks so much, John.